In the crisp morning light of Manchester, Emma Wilson stood outside the Grand Riverside Hotel, her weathered hands clutching a small overnight bag. Her reflection in the glass door revealed a woman worn down by life's endless challenges. Tired. Eyes, a faded coat that had seen better days, and shoes that whispered stories of countless difficult miles. Emma was 32, but looked older. Her life had been a constant battle, a single mother who had fought every single day to provide for her. Young daughter Lucy, today was different. This hotel represented her last hope, her final chance to change everything. The hotel lobby was warm and elegant, a stark contrast to Emma's humble appearance. Polished marble floors reflected crystal chandeliers, and well-dressed guests moved about with an air of confidence she could only dream about. Thomas Harrison, the hotel manager, watched her approach the reception desk with a look of barely concealed disdain. "May I help you?" he asked, his tone sharp and unwelcoming. Emma's voice trembled slightly. I need a room for tonight. Just for one night." Thomas looked her up and down, taking in her worn clothing and tired expression. He noticed the small hole in her coat sleeve, the scuffed shoes, the way her hands shook slightly as she reached into her bag. "I'm afraid we have no availability," he said coldly, though several room keys hung visibly behind him. Emma's heart sank. She had saved money for months, skipping meals, working extra shifts, doing everything possible to save enough for this one night. She was preparing for a critical job interview tomorrow morning, and she needed a proper place to rest, to prepare, to look presentable. "Please," she whispered, "I have money, I can pay." Thomas pushed the reservation book away. "This is a high-end establishment. We cannot accommodate everyone who walks in off the street." The other guests in the lobby began to stare. Emma felt her cheeks burning with humiliation. A few whispered, some looked away uncomfortably. She understood their unspoken judgment. She didn't belong here. In that moment, Emma thought about her daughter Lucy, the little girl who depended on her, who looked up to her with such pure love and hope. She couldn't let this moment break her spirit. Not now. Not when they were so close to potentially changing everything. Her mind raced back to the past years, losing her job after caring for her sick mother, struggling to find stable work, facing rejection after rejection. Each setback had been a test of her resilience, and she had survived. She would survive this too. With dignity, Emma straightened her shoulders. "Thank you for your time," she said quietly, turning away from the reception desk. As she walked towards the hotel exit, Thomas watched her, feeling a momentary twinge of something. Was it guilt? Shame? But the feeling passed quickly, replaced by his usual professional detachment. Outside, the Manchester morning was cold and grey. Emma pulled her thin coat tighter, her mind already shifting to her backup plan. She knew a small shelter, nearby where she might find temporary refuge. Her job interview was too important to let this setback destroy her chances. What Thomas didn't know, what none of the hotel guests realized, was the incredible journey Emma had undertaken. A journey of a mother's love, of unwavering hope, of resilience that burned brighter than any obstacle. Her story was just beginning. And despite this moment of rejection, Emma Wilson was not defeated. She was a survivor, a fighter, a woman who understood that life's true measure wasn't found in luxurious hotel lobbies, but in the strength of her heart and her determination to create a better life for her daughter. As she walked away from the Riverside Hotel, the first rays of sunlight began to break through the morning clouds, a subtle reminder that after every dark moment, light always finds a way to shine through. The street was empty, but Emma's spirit was full of hope, full of possibility, full of the unbreakable love that had carried her this far and would continue to guide her forward. Her journey was far from over. In fact, it was just beginning. The small apartment on Maple Street was more than just a living space. It was a testament to Emma Wilson's resilience. Photographs of her daughter Lucy decorated the worn walls, each picture a memory of love and hope preserved against the backdrop of their challenging life. Years earlier, Emma had been a promising office worker with a bright future. Everything changed when her mother fell ill. The medical bills piled up, work became impossible, and her career slowly unraveled. Her colleagues gradually disappeared, Promotions vanished, and the professional world she once knew became a distant memory. Lucy, now 8 years old, watched her mother with eyes that held wisdom beyond her years. She understood struggle in a way most children never should. Every evening she would help Emma count their remaining money, carefully planning their meals and necessities. "We'll be okay, right, Mum?" Lucy would ask, her small hand squeezing her mother's. Emma would smile, hiding her own fears. "We're always okay together," she would respond, her voice steady despite the uncertainty that churned inside her. Their daily routine was a delicate dance of survival. Emma worked part-time cleaning offices, took online surveys, and occasionally did freelance data entry. Each job was temporary, each opportunity a potential lifeline. Her dreams of a stable career had been replaced by the immediate need to provide food and shelter. The memories of her previous life haunted her. She remembered office parties, professional meetings, the confidence she once carried. Now her world was smaller, more concentrated on survival. But within that small world, her love for Lucy remained boundless and powerful. Lucy was her motivation. Every difficult moment, every rejection, every struggle was faced with the singular goal of giving her daughter a better future. She made a silent promise years ago that Lucy would have opportunities she never had. Their tiny kitchen became a classroom after school hours. Emma would help Lucy with homework, teaching her not just academic skills, but life lessons about perseverance, dignity, and hope. They couldn't afford extra tutoring or fancy educational resources, but they had each other. The winter was particularly harsh that year. Heating became a luxury, and Emma would spend hours finding creative ways to keep Lucy warm. She would make soup from minimal ingredients, ensuring Lucy always ate first. Her own meals were often small, sometimes non-existent. At night, when Lucy would sleep, Emma would study. Online courses, free webinars, anything that could potentially improve her employability. She learned computer skills, took typing classes, watched tutorial videos in the local library's free internet section. Her smartphone, a second-hand device she had carefully saved to buy, became her connection to potential opportunities. Each job application was sent with hope, each email a potential gateway to a better life. The community around them was mixed. Some neighbors understood their struggle, offering occasional help, a warm meal, a kind word. Others looked away, uncomfortable, with the raw reality of poverty that Emma and Lucy represented. But Emma never complained. She never allowed bitterness to consume her. Instead, she channeled every ounce of her energy into creating a positive environment for Lucy. Their small apartment, though modest, was filled with love, laughter, and an unbreakable spirit. Lucy's school report cards were her proudest possession. Despite their financial challenges, her daughter was an excellent student, kind-hearted and optimistic. Emma would trace her finger over the grades, tears of pride sometimes filling her eyes. "We might not have much," Emma would tell Lucy, "but we have each other, and together we can do anything." As the evening light filtered through their small window, casting long shadows across their modest living room, Emma would hold Lucy close. In those moments, their financial struggles seemed distant. What mattered was their connection, their shared dream, their unbreakable bond. The world outside might see them as struggling, as statistics of economic hardship, but inside their home they were rich beyond measure, rich in love, in hope, in determination. Emma's forgotten promise to herself and to Lucy was simple. They would not just survive, they would thrive. And with each passing day, with each challenge overcome, they were proving that promise could become reality. The corner cafe on Manchester Street was more than just a coffee shop. It was a meeting place where countless stories intersected. On this particular morning, the cafe buzzed with the typical morning crowd, office workers, students, and local residents seeking their daily caffeine fix. Emma Wilson sat in the corner, her hands wrapped around a small, cheap coffee. Her eyes were fixed on a job listing printed from the library's computer, carefully circling potential opportunities with a borrowed pen. Her overnight bag sat beside her, a reminder of her recent hotel rejection and upcoming interview. William Roberts, a 55-year-old local businessman, occupied a nearby table. Dressed in a smart grey suit, he appeared successful and confident. But something about Emma caught his attention. Not her appearance, but the determination in her eyes. He overheard fragments of her conversation with herself, notes about interview preparation, careful calculations of her remaining money, quiet encouragements to stay positive. William found himself listening, touched by her quiet resilience. "Another. Coffee?" the cafe waitress asked Emma. Emma hesitated. "Just water, please," she responded, her voice revealing the careful financial management behind each decision. William watched as she carefully pulled out a slightly crumpled sandwich from her bag, clearly prepared at home to save money. Her hands trembled slightly as she unwrapped it, exhaustion evident in every movement. Something about her reminded William of his own mother, a woman who had raised him single-handedly after his father's early death. He remembered the struggles, the dignity, the unbreakable spirit. Without being intrusive, William moved closer. "Excuse me," he said gently. "Would you like to share this table?" "It seems quite crowded." Emma looked up, initially cautious, but something in William's kind eyes made her feel safe. "Thank you," she responded quietly. As they sat together, William noticed her job preparation materials. "Preparing for an interview?" he asked conversationally. Emma explained her situation, carefully omitting personal details, maintaining her dignity. She spoke about her skills, her desire to provide for her daughter, her determination to create a better life. William listened intently. In her words, he heard more than just a job seeker. He heard a story of incredible resilience. Her professional background, her current challenges, her unwavering hope, all painted a picture of someone extraordinary. "I might know someone looking for someone with your skills," William mentioned casually. But this was no casual comment. He was carefully evaluating Emma's potential, seeing beyond her current circumstances. The cafe continued its morning rhythm. Around them, espresso machines hissed, conversations blended into background noise, but for Emma and William, time seemed to pause. William subtly asked about her professional background, her experiences, her capabilities. Emma, initially guarded, slowly began to share. Her previous office experience, her computer skills, her ability to manage complex tasks all emerged during their conversation. What William saw was not a struggling single mother, but a talented professional momentarily displaced by life's challenges. He recognized potential where others might see only struggle. "Would you be interested in a potential recommendation?" William asked, his tone professional yet kind. Emma's eyes widened. Recommendations were rare for someone in her position. Hope flickered, fragile but persistent. As they continued talking, the cafe around them transformed from a simple meeting place to a potential turning point in Emma's life. William wasn't offering charity. He was recognizing genuine talent, human potential. Their conversation represented more than a chance meeting. It was a moment where human connection transcended social boundaries, where compassion met opportunity. The morning light changed, casting warm shadows across their table. Emma's posture gradually shifted, from defensive to hopeful, from uncertain to quietly confident. An unexpected ally had entered her journey, not to rescue her, but to recognize her inherent worth. The morning of the interview arrived with a crisp, promising breeze. Emma stood before her small mirror, wearing a carefully pressed suit she had saved and mended for this moment. Every stitch represented her hope, every thread a testament to her determination. William Roberts had done more than just offer a casual recommendation. He had spoken to his colleague Michael Thompson, the Human Resources Director at a prominent marketing firm. "Look beyond the current circumstances," William had advised. "Sometimes the most resilient candidates are those who have faced real challenges." Emma arrived at the office building 30 minutes early. Her hands were steady, her resume carefully prepared. The receptionist looked up, surprised by the quiet confidence radiating from this woman who seemed different from typical job applicants. The waiting room felt like a battlefield of unspoken expectations. Other candidates looked polished, confident, coming from backgrounds of stability and privilege. Emma sat quietly, her preparation speaking louder than any designer outfit. Michael Thompson reviewed her application carefully. He saw something unique, not just skills but a story of survival. Emma's previous work experiences, though interrupted, showed adaptability, intelligence, and an extraordinary work ethic. "Tell me about a time you overcame a significant challenge," Michael asked during the interview. Emma didn't hesitate. She spoke about caring for her mother, managing household finances while supporting her daughter, taking online courses during impossible circumstances. Her words were simple but powerful. She didn't dramatize her struggles. Instead, she presented them as practical challenges she had systematically addressed. Each obstacle became a learning opportunity, each difficulty a chance to develop new skills. Michael listened, increasingly impressed. This wasn't just a job interview, it was a demonstration of human potential. Emma represented something beyond traditional hiring metrics, pure, unbreakable resilience. Her computer skills, carefully developed through free online courses, matched perfectly with the company's needs. Her ability to manage complex tasks, learned through years of single-parent household management, was precisely what the marketing firm required. The interview lasted longer than expected. Michael asked detailed questions, not just about her professional capabilities, but about her approach to challenges, her problem-solving methods, her capacity to adapt. Lucy's photograph, carefully tucked in Emma's portfolio, caught Michael's attention. "Your daughter?" he asked. Emma nodded, explaining how her daughter's future motivated her every professional decision. Her eyes sparkled with a combination of love and determination that few candidates could match. Outside, the Manchester sky began to clear. Sunlight filtered through the office windows, symbolizing a potential new beginning. Emma's entire life had been preparing her for this moment, not just professionally but personally. Michael understood he wasn't just considering a job candidate, he was recognizing a human being who represented hope, resilience, and extraordinary potential. The interview concluded with Michael's warm handshake. "We'll be in touch soon," he said, words that carried more weight than simple corporate politeness. Emma left the office building, her steps measured, her spirit calm. She had done everything possible. Her preparation, her honesty, her genuine passion had spoken volumes. As she walked, memories of past rejections faded. The hotel manager who had humiliated her, the countless job applications that had been ignored, they seemed distant now. This moment represented transformation. William Roberts, who had subtly recommended her, waited nearby. When Emma emerged, he saw something different in her walk, not just hope but quiet confidence. "How did it go?" he asked. Emma's smile said everything. It was a smile of someone who understood that life's true victories aren't about instant success, but about persistent effort, unwavering hope, and the courage to continue believing in oneself. The city moved around them, busy, indifferent. But, for Emma, everything had changed. One interview, one opportunity, one unexpected connection had potentially altered her entire trajectory. Her turning moment had arrived, soft yet powerful, humble yet transformative. 1 month later, Emma walked through the grand lobby of the same riverside hotel where she had been humiliated. Her steps were confident, her appearance transformed. A tailored business suit replaced her old worn coat, her posture reflecting newfound professional success. Thomas Harrison, the same manager who had rejected her weeks earlier, now worked as a junior staff member. Recognition flickered in his eyes as Emma approached the reception desk. The tables had turned dramatically. The marketing firm had not just offered Emma a job, they had given her a senior project management role. Her starting salary was more than she had ever imagined possible. Lucy would now have opportunities she could only dream about before. Lucy, now understanding the significance of her mother's journey, waited outside in a taxi. The 8-year-old had watched her mother's transformation with eyes full of pride and wonder. Their life was changing, not through luck but through persistent effort. William Roberts stood nearby, observing the moment with quiet satisfaction. He had seen potential where others saw only struggle. His simple act of kindness in the cafe had become a turning point in Emma's life. Thomas's hands trembled slightly as he processed a routine hotel reservation. The same desk where he had once humiliated Emma now became a place of unexpected redemption. Their eyes met, not with anger, but with a mutual understanding of life's unpredictable paths. Emma didn't seek revenge. Her success was her ultimate statement. She had transformed her pain into purpose, her rejection into motivation. The hotel lobby, once a place of humiliation, now represented her triumph. Her first official action in her new job was to establish a support program for single parents seeking professional opportunities. She understood the challenges of rebuilding a career after personal setbacks. Michael Thompson, her hiring manager, watched her progress with genuine admiration. Emma wasn't just an employee, she was a testament to human potential. Her story inspired the entire marketing firm, challenging their traditional hiring perspectives. Lucy's future now looked completely different. Excellent schools, opportunities for education, and a mother who had shown her the true meaning of resilience became her new reality. The Manchester community began to hear Emma's story. Local newspapers picked up her journey, from a struggling single mother to a successful project manager. Her narrative became a beacon of hope for many facing similar challenges. William Roberts reflected on that simple cafe conversation. Sometimes, he realized, a moment of genuine human connection could change entire life trajectories. His small act of listening had created significant impact. Thomas learned a profound lesson about judgment. The woman he had once dismissed had become someone remarkable. His own career path now felt humble compared to her extraordinary journey. Emma's apartment, once a symbol of struggle, transformed into a home of hope. Books, educational materials, and opportunities now filled spaces previously occupied by financial worry. As evening approached, Emma sat with Lucy, explaining the importance of compassion, persistence, and believing in oneself. Their conversation was more than a mother-daughter talk. It was a masterclass in resilience. The city lights of Manchester twinkled outside their window, a metaphorical representation of countless possibilities waiting to be discovered. William's recommendation, Thomas's initial rejection, Michael's open-mindedness, all these moments had converged to create Emma's remarkable story. Her journey proved that life's most powerful transformations often emerge from its most challenging moments. Poverty was not her definition, resilience was her true identity. Lucy looked at her mother with eyes filled with admiration. "You did it, Mum," she whispered. Emma smiled, understanding that her real victory wasn't just professional success. It was showing her daughter that obstacles are simply opportunities in disguise. The Riverside Hotel, once a symbol of her lowest moment, now represented her highest achievement. Redemption rarely looks like revenge. Sometimes it simply looks like walking confidently into spaces that once rejected you. Her story wasn't just about getting a job. It was about reclaiming dignity, transforming struggle into strength, and proving that human potential knows no boundaries. As night fell over Manchester, Emma Wilson's journey became a testament to hope, resilience, and the extraordinary power of believing in oneself.